Art takes forever, I know. You ever wish you could just skip to the good part and finish your drawings faster? Well, I found a way, and it feels like a cheat code. For today's victim, we've got Jay from Lego Ninjago in his most fabulous form. Superstar Rockin' Jay. I've been wanting to draw him like a proper rock style for a while. A year ago, a piece like this would have taken me well over 30 hours. But thanks to the trick I'm about to show you, it only took 13. And that's including all the failed concepts I tossed out first. So it actually took less than that. How did I cut the time in half on a fully rendered piece with dramatic lighting like this? Let me show you. Step 1. Sketch, as usual. Use as many layers as you like. Messy or clean, it doesn't matter. My sketch was kind of a middle point, I'd say. It looked tidy from afar, but zoom in and it's chaos. Stray pixels, half-erased lines, and all sorts of dirt from when I'm transforming or moving things around. That's fine. You don't need perfection yet. Step 2. Now throw a new layer under the sketch and block in your base colors. Don't stress about giving them clean edges. If the fill tool or the magic wand fails, just lasso it. And if that fails too, paint it manually. But do it fast and simple. It's okay if the colors go outside of the lines a little. Absolutely don't worry about that. Here is where the magic starts. Before even thinking about working on a line art, start planning your shadows. No, I'm not crazy. You'll see why this works very soon. Make as many new layers on top of your base colors as you wish to plan your shadows. Use any blending modes if you need them. Don't try to get the shadows right on the first try, but rather use this stage to experiment with how different colors affect the vibe of your drawing. Explore how to shape and place the shadows to better represent the volume of your character, or how you can make it stand out from other elements. In my case, I went for some rim light, so I focused all the lighter parts around Jay's silhouette. But also took some freedom and added light on the side of his jaw and nose too, so that I could bring the focal point to his face again. The purpose of this step is to make exactly the drawing that you want to get in the end, but in a messier version. Step 3. Here comes the cheat code. Once your colored sketch feels right, merge it in one layer. On Clip Studio, right-click on the highest layer and choose Merge Visible Layers on a new layer. If your app doesn't have this option, just duplicate all your current layers and merge them together. That way, you have your drawing on a single layer, while still keeping the original layers in case you need them. Well, to be fair, I did not merge everything. I kept the characters separated from the background so I wouldn't suffer as much later. But you get the idea. And step 4, now we paint on one layer. Yeah, that's it. Working in one layer is the magic trick, and it works wonders. You're not gonna believe how much faster you can work like this. Because now you don't have to constantly go back and forth to your layers panel and switch from one to another when you need to fix the shadow of the skin, then the shadow of the clothes, then the hair, and so on. You just have to color pick around and paint as naturally as you would do when you're working with traditional tools. I think that's the best part of working on one layer. It looks super scary when you've never done it before, but it feels much more natural in a way. With this method, we get the best of both worlds. We get to draw as humanity has always drawn, but we take advantage of what digital tools can do for us. When we use the lasso tool for the base colors, for example, that's faster than having to spread all the paint with a real brush, or imagine filling all that background with colored pencils. I'm shivering already. Or when we use all the different layers, blending modes, and even filters to play around with the mood of the picture and find out what's the best way to place our shadows. We get to do that fast and easy and experiment as much as we want without having to redo the sketch again and again for every little thing we want to test. I've become a real fan of painting in one layer. It definitely speeds up the creative process. Just think about it. With this method, you have not only skipped the line art stage, but also the base coloring and shading all over again. I mean, why would you want to start from scratch and spend even more time when you can just reuse what you already had on that perfectly functional sketch in the beginning? I know it looks scary, and definitely the brushes you use might play an important role here. I found that brushes with varying opacity helps me the most with this kind of painting technique. The main one I used on the rendering here was one of my custom brushes, the opacity pencil with no texture. It's super convenient because with it I can just tilt my pen to control how much opacity I want on each stroke. So I can layer several strokes to build up the color gradually. And since this technique is very much based on color picking the colors you already have on the canvas, rather than choosing new colors as you'd usually do, you can make very subtle gradients and mix colors slowly without having to use a watercolor or blending tool of some kind. Those are quite hard to use, especially when you're a beginner, because they require a lot of control over your pen pressure. If you're looking for a friendly brush for your one-layer paintings too, you can get my opacity pencil with my fancy brush pack. The link is in the description box. Many artists have already tried this brush and found it super easy and convenient to use. So don't be scared even if you've never used this kind of tools or rendering methods. You'll see it's a lot easier than it seems. But what if I mess up a part of the drawing? Well, you can just paint over. You don't need Ctrl-Z. You don't need hundreds of layers for every tiny stroke. Just do like the famous painters have done since forever. Throw more paint onto it and paint that part again. Yes, the liners as well. You don't really need to treat them as two completely different elements. They both belong to the same drawing in the end. What if I want to go back to a previous stage? Well, you can duplicate your character layer to create sort of a checkpoint, you know? Just hide the previous ones and keep working on the new duplicated layer, and you'll always have a backup in case you don't like whatever thing you tried. Plus, it serves as a fun way to track your progress that I find very motivating. And what if I need to change the colors? Oh, you can do that too, don't freak out, it's digital art. Every app has some sort of color filter like the hue saturation one, or color balance, or levels. Just use the lasso tool to select that specific part and adjust it as you need. Or throw a couple more layers with some blending modes like multiply, lighten, overlay to keep tweaking colors and contrast. You know, one layer painting doesn't mean you literally have to stick to one single layer the whole time. It's just a way to refer to a more traditional-like way of painting with digital tools. Don't be scared to make mistakes and paint over them. One-layer painting isn't about being reckless, but more like painting fearlessly. Mess it up? Paint over it. Lost bits of the liner in the process? Redraw it cleaner. The faster you get comfortable working this way, the more time you'll free up for the fun parts, like lighting, effects, and mood. I feel like it's common for us digital artists to get caught up in the perfectionism and tidiness that digital art offers us. At least I've always felt like if I have the option to make several layers, I must make several layers. That if I can't Ctrl-Z to make my mistakes disappear, it means I must make them disappear like that. Am I the only one that fell for that trap, or do you also feel like this? If you do, now you know how to fix that. Get that pen ready and try this rendering method yourself. I want to know how it works for you too. But don't forget about leaving a like on this video and subscribe for more cheat codes like this if you're new to the channel. Thanks for watching, keep on practicing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!